In response to the potent threat posed by Russia's Terminator, the Ukrainian military commissioned the Azovets, a robust armored vehicle engineered specifically for the complexities of urban warfare. Equipped with Ukrainian Knife reactive armor, the Azovets was adept at absorbing and neutralizing the intense threats that characterize city battles, showcasing never-before-seen adaptive defense capabilities. Designed to outmaneuver and outlast, it was built to bring a new level of technological superiority to the Ukrainian forces. Moreover, the Azovets was meant to become the centerpiece of Ukraine's modern warfare strategy, embodying the peak of military innovation. However, its ascent was marred by a corruption scandal, leading to public outcry and a thorough investigation. Adding to the deception and betrayal, an unexpected faction within the very ranks that once championed its use stole the Azovets prototype. For months, the vehicle vanished from all known records, its fate the subject of rampant speculation and covert whispers in the corridors of power. Then, just as suddenly as it had disappeared, the Azovets reemerged and revealed its fate for the cameras. In the wake of the Russian annexation of the Crimean Peninsula in 2014, the engineering group Azov responded with a military marvel, the Azovets. This urban combat vehicle, armed to the teeth with dual turrets and a range of lethal weapons, was a strategic response to the changing geopolitical landscape. Clad in the innovative Ukrainian Knife reactive armor, the Azovets wore its defenses for enhanced protection against the harsh encounters of urban combat. This advanced armor, designed to react to the impact of incoming projectiles, significantly increases the tank's survivability. The hull, particularly vulnerable in intense close-quarters scenarios, boasted 2 layers of reactive armor. Amidst the chaos of battle, the Azovets unveiled a revolutionary control system, a network of cameras that guided its crew's vision of the battlefield. This advanced feature allowed the crew to maintain a clear view of the situation from the safety of the turret, untouched by the dangers that lurked outside. The Azovets was conceived to counter the threat of the Russian BMPT Terminator, an armored fighting vehicle, or AFV, designed by Russian company Uralgovontsevod to support main battle tanks, or MBTs, and other AFVs in urban combat. Like the Azovets, this Russian vehicle is armed and armored for survival in urban warfare, and was built on the chassis of the widely used T-72 main battle tank. As a support vehicle, the Terminator packs a punch in its arsenal to deal with the ever-changing nature of today's battlefields. It boasts anti-tank missiles, grenade launchers for engaging infantry and light vehicles, 2 30mm autocannons to pummel ground forces and aircraft, and 1 coaxial PKTM machine gun. Inspired by the Russian Terminator, the Ukrainian Azovets was designed to serve a similar purpose within its military ranks, utilizing the chassis of the T-64B tank, a model first introduced in the early 1960s. This tank, recognized for its advanced features, included composite armor, a compact engine and transmission, and a 125mm smoothbore gun. Building on this solid foundation, the Azovets weighs about 40 tons and integrates upgraded armor protection, along with an armament suite reminiscent of the Russian Terminator. Its arsenal features twin-barrel GSH-23 115mm autocannons, 4 mortar-type guns, several heavy machine guns, and 200mm Ukrainian Shtugna anti-tank guided weapons, enabling the Azovets to effectively engage with enemy infantry, light vehicles, and low-flying aircraft. The efficacy of the Shtugna anti-tank guided weapons is particularly significant. They boast a range of up to 5,000 meters, and the capability to penetrate over 550mm of rolled homogeneous armor, thanks to their semi-automatic command line-of-sight guidance system. This makes the Azovets a formidable adversary on the battlefield. Operational efficiency is further enhanced by the Azovets' 4-man crew, consisting of 2 gunners, a commander, and a driver, who utilize a sophisticated 360-degree camera system. This array of digital cameras enables the crew to maintain all-around situational awareness from within the safety of the vehicle, an essential feature in modern warfare. To protect these crucial observational tools and to counter enemy tactics, the Azovets includes decoy cameras designed to mislead and divert enemy snipers. This strategic addition bolsters the vehicle's defensive capabilities, ensuring the longevity and effectiveness of its surveillance systems. Moreover, adhering to its roots in the design of the Soviet T-64B, the Azovets retains the engine placement at the rear, but adds modern safety features. The engine compartment now includes side panels that serve as emergency exits, crucial for crew evacuation in the event of a direct hit. This thoughtful integration of historical design and modern technology underscores the Azovets as a key asset in Ukrainian military strategy. adeptly bridging the gap between past and present battlefield needs. Although Ukrainians and analysts have called the vehicle a tank, designer Mykola Stepanov has stepped up to correct them, stating, quote, "It's probably more correct to call it an armored fighting vehicle for urban warfare. Its weight is 40 tons. A special armor design can reliably protect the crew. Even if the vehicle hits a sub-caliber projectile into the side, it will not cause much damage." The vehicle can have heavy machine guns, 4 guns for mortar firing, Stugna ATGM, and rapid-fire GSH-23 guns capable of turning concrete fortifications into a pile of garbage with 23mm rounds. The concept of a combat vehicle is based on the safety of its crew. In the chilly autumn of 2015, Ukraine's Minister of Internal Affairs, Arsen Avakov, was first introduced to the Azovets, marking a significant development in the evolution of urban tanks for the Ukrainian military. This event promised a new era in urban warfare capabilities and generated substantial interest. By spring 2016, the Azovets had progressed to field trials, signaling readiness to transform urban combat. However, just as these trials were gaining momentum, they abruptly stopped in May, leaving the project shrouded in uncertainty. Unexpectedly, the situation took a turn when rumors of corruption began to circulate. It emerged that the Azovets, initially celebrated as a beacon of Ukrainian military innovation, was equipped with cameras intended for home security rather than battlefield operations. Moreover, these cameras were sourced from China, igniting a wave of shock and controversy that raised numerous questions about the project's integrity. This revelation triggered a police investigation into potential corruption. Authorities meticulously searched for evidence of deceit in the procurement and application of the equipment, though the investigation would eventually find no conclusive leads. The incident left a cloud of skepticism hanging over the project, with many still intrigued by the possibilities it represented, yet disillusioned by the execution. Adding to the project's misfortune, in early October 2016, within the Azov engineering compound, the Azovets tank was suddenly stolen in a covert operation by an unexpected adversary, the Azov regiment itself, betraying their comrades. Transported to their base in Urzuf, the tank suffered due to reckless handling, resulting in severe damage to its engine and gearbox. Intriguingly, this incident unfolded just steps away from the regiment's own training grounds, housed within the same complex, yet distinctly separate. Weeks after this initial betrayal, the Azov regiment, now openly defiant against the military, took control of the entire engineering compound. They imposed an iron grip, barring the engineers' access and forcibly relocating their operations. As they claimed ownership of everything left behind, the walls that once nurtured technological innovation were literally torn down. Amidst the debris of their shattered collaboration, the engineers severed their ties with the paramilitary group. They re-established themselves under a new identity, RA, aligning directly with the Ukrainian defense industry. Meanwhile, the Azovets, the sole prototype of its kind, was abandoned, left to rot in the hands of the uncompromising Azov battalion. On February 24, 2022, Russia escalated its ongoing conflict with Ukraine, initiating a full-scale offensive. Despite Russia's initial objective to swiftly capture key cities like Kyiv, Ukrainian forces mounted a robust defense, maintaining control over strategic locations, including Kyiv and Kharkiv. Throughout the extended conflict into 2023, Ukrainian forces successfully executed several counteroffensives, reclaiming territories in the northeast and around Kherson and parts of the Kharkiv region. Amid these military operations, the radical Azov battalion was a significant participant, confronting Russian forces across a broad front. Faced with insufficient supplies, despite support from the United States and NATO, the Azov battalion resorted to deploying the Azovets. Despite its limited military utility, this unique and visually distinctive tank was thrust into combat, embodying Ukraine's desperate innovation in the face of overwhelming odds. It remains unclarified how Azov employed the vehicle and if it managed to be helpful against the enemy. Whichever the case, following stalemates and constant retreats, Azov and the Ukrainian military were pushed back from the territories of the Donbas regions and were forced to abandon the vehicle. For months, the fate of the Azovets remained a mystery until early April 2024, when the Russian armed forces found and excavated the imposing vehicle in an undisclosed location. Russian military personnel took plenty of pictures and footage of the relic, analyzing the Azovets and comparing it to their arsenal and that of Ukraine. Journalist Patrick Lancaster was allowed a rare glimpse into Ukraine's invincible superweapon, and filmed it from up close against the Russian troops that captured it. According to the Russian army personnel interviewed, Azovets was found buried and then dug up by the attacking forces. The troops then explained the main features and modifications of the Azovets. Ultimately, their verdict is clear. Azovets was a waste of money and time for the Ukrainian military. Given that only one prototype of Azovets was produced and the current circumstances of Ukraine, it is unlikely that another design would be built from scratch. It appears that Ukraine's attempt at developing an armored vehicle that could outmatch the Russian Terminator BMPT will become a war relic in a military museum across Russia.